Jason should not come to me and be forming his angry and everybody knows. Why are you asking? Everybody knows. Why are you asking if I had a fight with Jason?
Because he's sleeping downstairs.
That's his fucking business. Because I lifted, he wants me to go and talk to him. No, I'm not going to do that. He's angry because of Mide and not me, because I lifted culture. He has been dancing with Joanna for weeks, like a fucking prostitute. And then what? I should feel bad or feel sad for lifting culture. I went to lift culture from the ground. He's stupid.
He's just a very way to organized person. Even in the head of house lounge, there's a place like there's like a chef like this. The way his clothes are arranged. He's just, he plans like, I know all these doctors and all of that. When I see him do all these things, I'm like, oh, maybe he's just trying to do for trouble. No, it's just who he is.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, shipping in Big Brother's house is definitely an extreme sport. Listen, there's nothing anybody will tell me, but that is my opinion. Shipping in Big Brother's house is definitely an extreme sport because everything means everything. No matter how little it is, you dance with someone that is not your lover, you are already cheating on your lover. You sit down to have a conversation with someone of the opposite gender that is not your lover, you are cheating on the person. Someone gives you a necklace to hold for them, you are cheating on the person. Because guys, it's just so ridiculous. I was listening to Bright and Mide's conversation and it was just so weird. It was just so ridiculous. And I was wondering, like, I don't understand. Why is this such a big deal to Bright that Jasonjae gave Mide his necklace and Bright Morgan was forming angry, I am vexed, I am annoyed. Why? Like, it felt like a promise chain or a promise ring or something. And I'm looking at this guy like, why is it such a big deal? Does the house really fuck with their mind that much? Because I know that the house fucks with their mind. I know. Every single one of them, one way or the other, they become delusional, because of how things operate in the house and because of how their fellow housemates move. I get it. But I did not think that it was going to be that bad. Okay, fine. Okay. I'm putting two and two together now. And in a way, it's kind of making sense. So, Denari gave Doris his necklace, his pendant from his necklace, a pendant that he had had for over 8 years. So he had handed it over to Doris, and then recently he had added a ring to it. So it's more like a promise ring, a promise pendant or something, right? So could that be the reason Bright was overreacting? Because Mide kept on explaining, trying to convince him that it did not mean anything. That she and Jasonjae, they are just friends. And of course, yes, they are just friends because according to how Mide had explained it before, they live in the same estate, they carry the same name, they know certain people, and so they plan on continuing their friendship, more like a siblingship outside the house. So what I did not get was, why was Bright Morgan upset? Because dude, you have a whole ass girlfriend outside the house. So why are you upset? Oh my Lord. Guys, it just does not make sense. It was just really weird. But I would love to hear from all of you. Why do you think it was such a big deal to him? Please let me know in the comment section below. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the rest of this video, I just want to let you all know that this is the continuation, the part 2 of my previous video about the pool party. So if you missed out on that one, don't worry. The video is not so conjoined to the hips that you cannot watch one before watching the other. So you can finish watching this one first before you move on to the other one. All right. And yeah, quick reminder. Tomorrow is Saturday. So by 3 p.m. WAT, we're going to be converging here for our YouTube live conversation. I cannot wait to host all of you because there's a lot to unpack. Yes. And there's a lot to dissect. Yeah, a lot has happened this week, and I really want to have a one-on-one interaction with every single one of you. So you all know how we do it anyways. I look forward to hosting you. I look forward to having you. Please make sure you come through, make it a date with us. Do not miss out. There's a lot you do not want to miss out on. All right. And yes, you're all welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Yeah, quickly, let's dive right into the rest of the video. Continuing from Bright and Mide's settlement conversation. Just as Bright was upset that she had collected, or rather received, a necklace from Jasonjae, Mide, on the other hand, was also upset with him for dancing with Iveta. Now, she had presumed that he was dancing with Iveta, but then Bright was literally fighting for his life, explaining that he wasn't really dancing with the girl, that the girl had even upset him earlier in the day, so he was kind of avoiding her. So she was dancing on her own, he was dancing on his own, and then she was now apologizing. In fact, they apologized to each other because they realized that they were actually misconstruing a lot of things. Yeah, so they settled their differences right there. Now, moving on, there was another conversation between Kola and Imisi. Kola was still ranting to Imisi about Dede. It was still going on and on and on about the same thing, that Dede was leading him on, that people need to hear the things that Dede tells him. That Dede tells him a lot of things. She makes a lot of promises to him. She tells him that she really wants them to have a relationship. She has really set boundaries. She's talked about him not really, having too many women that he interacts with. She has, drawn the line for him about the number of girls he will be interacting with in the house. And what else did he even say? He said something about, that when he is having conversations with people, Dede will just come and call him, and he has no choice but to leave those people and go to Dede. And it got me wondering, like, how, where, when, how? Like, is it the same show I'm watching? So the guy was saying a lot of things, and obviously he was kind of exaggerating, and it was making it look like he was so miserable, like he wanted to cry. And Imisi likes it when Kola is in his vulnerable, no, not vulnerable, in his fake vulnerability. Yeah, fake vulnerability, because when it's real, we see it. Yeah. And, she's always happy when he's in that mode, so that she will start mothering around him and consoling him and joining him to hate on the people that he's complaining about, And it's like she always enjoys hating on Dede on behalf of Kola. And that was exactly what both of them were doing. Guys, as I said, people like Kola, if you're a woman and a guy like Kola is liking you, run for your life. Because why would he not talk to her and only her first directly? But anyways, I already know the answer to that question. It's a game at the end of the day. So for him, he's trying to tarnish her image, demarket her character to the rest of the house, so that they will see her as a user, they will see her as the villain whilst he is the victim, because that is the card he has been playing from the very get-go. And a lot of housemates are bought into it. It's all about the perception anyways. And it's been working for Kola. So he's doing the same thing that he's been doing from the very get-go. And speaking about Imisi enjoying the role that she plays in hating who Kola hates in the house, she finally admitted by herself that the food that they had shared to some housemates that same last night after the pool party, that she had deliberately not dished out food for Dede and Koyin. Because why would she? Because remember, I had mentioned that Kola was, nagging about Dede spending time with Koyin, that he does not believe that her relationship with Koyin and Jasonjae is just platonic friendship, that there's more to it. And then he was also bashing Koyin, that Koyin is really getting on his nerves. Koyin was deliberately, making it look like he and Dede are actually an item, despite the fact that Dede has explained several times that they are just friends. So he kept on putting that notion into Imisi's head. And Imisi has said that, oh, that is why she did not even give them food. That Koyin had actually asked, Abi, was it Dede that asked? And she has said, no, that there are people that actually wanted the food, that she has shared it for them. And Kola was like, the nerve. Why would they even ask? What rubbish. Why would they even ask? You know, like, he was happy that she did not give them food. And guys, if you remember, there was one time that Imisi had given Dede and Koyin food. It was Dede that wanted the food, but Koyin was also going to be a part of the food. And Kola was really livid because for him, why would she cook and allow Koyin to eat out of it? So that was the same thing again that happened last night, you know, and he was really happy that Imisi had not served both Dede and Koyin, because that would have really pissed him off to be like, oh, you want to take my girl and then you also want to eat my bestie's food in the same house? Like, guy, it's not going to happen. So that was the conversation between those two people last night. And for me, I just felt like it was just really pathetic. But as I said before, it's been working for Kola. So let us see if it's still going to continue working to the end of the season. Because at this point, I'm sick and tired of hearing him nag. He's now sounding like a broken record. But then again, it is his game. Now, whilst that conversation was happening inside the house between Kola and Imisi, Koyin was having conversations with the three witches. Sultana, Isabella, there was also Big Soso. And he was telling them that, listen, no matter what Kola calls him in this house, that he doesn't really care. That he hears a lot of things, he doesn't really care. That when it comes to physical fights, definitely the street in him will come out. But when it comes to Kola calling him names won't hurt him. If you like, call him a chimpanzee today, he will ask you what you want to call him next week. And as he was saying that, Isabella was like, no, you're not the chimpanzee. We already have a chimpanzee in this house. And obviously she was referring to Kola because the other day she had called Kola a monkey, that the guy looked like a monkey. So Koyin was in his bragging element. You know, the guy was just going on that even the Dede that Kola is fighting him over, that he's not even attracted to Dede because as he is, he's a hot cake, that he gets a lot of advances from a lot of older women, that his ex had a Tesla. I wonder why that's a bragging right anyways. But he said his ex has a Tesla. And then if you check his DM on social media, that it's mostly rich, wealthy, it's mostly rich women, rich married women that are coming for him. And I remember one time in a conversation he had with someone in the house, he had mentioned that he likes dating older women. He had once dated somebody that was 35 when he was, I think, 19. Yes. So he likes dating older women. I say, okay. Okay. Each to their own. These housemates, they be doing the most. Now, moving on. Next was Big Soso explaining to Imisi that she believes that the reason Zita had attacked her, Doris, and Sultana yesterday morning is because she refused to be Zita's friend. That Zita is pained and feels scorned, and that is why she's accusing them of gossiping about her, of saying all manner of mean things about her, that they've never ever talked about her. They don't even gossip about people. They don't talk about people because she's not on that level, that she's big, that on the outside, Zita would not even see her to even talk to her. I know she was in a bragging element. And guys, yesterday I had put out a video where Zita had a lot to say about these girls, where she had clocked their game, where she had overheard a lot of nasty things they say about people during their gossip sessions, and she had been begging that Ebuka needs to ask her a question so that she would fire at them. But then yesterday morning she could not take it anymore, and so she had blasted all three of them. But guess what? The only person that had been bold enough to stand up to her was Doris. Sultana and Big Soso, they were feigning selective amnesia, like they don't know what she's talking about. And then they were going around lying that they never ever said anything bad about Zita or anybody else in the house. Guys, we're going to talk more about that during our live stream tomorrow. But it was just insane. And me listening to Big Soso telling Imisi all of that, and Imisi, as usual, you know, readying herself to beef Zita on behalf of Big Soso. It was just a ridiculous sight to behold, because us, the viewers, we know the facts, we know the truth, we see what they do, we hear what they do. So it doesn't really matter if Big Soso lies from now to eternity. we know that she's a very, very vile and mean-spirited person, always tearing down people around her. But anyways, Sultana and Jason reconciled because I'd mentioned on my previous video that Jasonjae was upset with Sultana for carrying culture, and Sultana said she does not care because Jasonjae has been moving around like a prostitute, dancing 1 minute with Joanna and coming back to her the next minute, that whatever is upsetting him, he believes that it is because Bbnaija and Koyin kissed, which they did not kiss, but that was what she said, that she believes that Jason is upset that Bbnaija and Koyin kissed. So he's now coming to transfer aggression on her, that she's not his problem, he needs to go and sort out his issues. But then in the early hours of this morning, both of them had actually settled their differences and they had gone to sleep together. So ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Is it this whole Jasonjae's triangle and whatnot situation? I'd explained it on my previous video, so go ahead and check it out, all right? But I just feel like whatever is going on between Jasonjae and Sultana, it is just really weird. It is off. I'm not gonna, you know what, let me wrap it up. Finally, this story should have come up before the Sultana and Jasonjae's one, but it's fine, we're still here. So Joanna had taken out time to explain Faith's personality to Bbnaija, and she had a lot of nice things to say about him. According to her, Faith is a very organized person, and everything he does comes with good intentions. So when people look at him and think that he's being provocative, he's being an instigator, no. That it is simply because of his profession as a doctor. It is simply because of his lifestyle as being a very, very organized person. Someone who plans and aims to achieve results. So he is using the way he lives his life to lead the house because he wants them to achieve something, to achieve decorum, to achieve order. You know, he's just trying to organize things that way. Guys, I'm paraphrasing everything that she said. It's not like she said everything like this verbatim, all right? So she gave a very, very interesting description of how Faith behaves, that even in the head of house lounge, that there is a cabinet where Faith meticulously arranged his things. That when you look at it, you understand why Faith behaves the way he behaves. But then, as much as he's a sweet person, as much as he's a very, very nice person, that she has told him several times that, listen, the people, it's their fault. They are the problem. But now, it is your responsibility to know how to handle whatever they dish out to you. And that was why she was upset with him the other day over the Imisi and the Imisi's kerosene incident, because she had actually told him that, listen, do not react, because these people are actually expecting a reaction from you. Yeah. And speaking of Faith, he and Joanna, they had a very, very beautiful and lengthy conversation on the pool table. They had resolved their differences, but then they had a beautiful conversation where Faith had appreciated her, her looks and their friendship. For him, their friendship keeps him grounded. He enjoys talking to her, and he just likes the way things goes between both of them. And they were just being playful and flirting with each other. And that was just that, ladies and gentlemen. And it was kind of nice to see them back together again, because I was kind of worried for a second that Joanna had thrown him under the bus, because of that whole Imisi situation. But they are good now. They are in a good place. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I finally end this video. I would love to hear from all of you, all I have shared. So please go ahead and share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.